Time now for the news from the left. Where would we be without phony politicians and their photo ops? Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg caught red-handed trying to fool Americans into thinking that he was so green. Buttigieg rode a bike for the cameras as he went to the White House for a meeting, but a reporter posted this footage of him pulling that bike out of a massive black SUV that gets about 3 miles to the gallon, and then only riding it just a couple of clicks, very short distance, over to the White House so that all the cameras would see him and he could act like he was green and he cared about the environment. The best part is that the bike came out of this huge Suburban, right? The worst SUV possible for the environment. Buttigieg is fighting climate change through his department, so they say, pushing for green transportation, including electric school buses and all that stuff. But he sure loves riding around in those big Suburbans with all that leg room, big engine, burning all that fuel. John Kerry Jr. Too funny. Hunter Biden will be on CBS Sunday Morning this weekend. That's going to be interesting. In the interview, he'll say that the laptop left at that Delaware repair shop and loaded with some very scandalous photos of drug use and nudity and photos that are too graphic, too perverse to even try to explain to you here. Yeah, it might be his.
Was that your laptop?
For real, I don't know.
I know, but you know this.
I really don't know.
Okay.
The answer is
you don't know yes or no if the laptop.
I don't have any
yours.
idea. I have no idea.
So it could have been yours.
Of course, certainly. There could be a laptop out there that was stolen from me. There could be that I was hacked. It could be that it was Russian intelligence. It could be that it was stolen from me.
That's basically a confession that it's his. How on earth do you forget that you had a computer? How do you forget that? How many computers does a drug addict need? I mean, does he have 40 computers? It could have been mine. I have no idea. How many laptops do you have? How many do you have? I got one. Of course, big tech and the media covered for Hunter and his dad, which is a big part of the reason why Joe Biden is now the president. Tony Bobulinski, you remember that name? He knew the truth about the Bidens. All that information about China, the finances, Ukraine, that was all in the laptop. Tony knew. He told the story. The media acted like this guy didn't even exist. And big tech made the New York Post's reporting on the story disappear as well. And the media and big tech ushered Joe Biden into the White House, did everything in their power to make sure that he was the next president. We will not forget how ridiculous the last election was. We never will. NPR is one of the worst government-funded media, so of course they're very liberal. NPR wrote about all that. We don't waste our time on stories that are not really stories, and we don't want to waste the listeners' and readers' time on stories that are just pure distractions. That's what they said about the Hunter Biden story. I want to put that on a billboard right outside of NPR and just blast it right in their stupid faces. Sorry, I get a little heated. I shouldn't have said that, but they're just so phony. They're so phony. Welcome to the United States of China. NPR is the new state-run media. Well, it appears the fools running Major League Baseball are betting on woke politics. Have you seen this story? The All-Star Game officially leaving Georgia over this insane, racist, horribly awful new voting law that are totally none of those things, by the way. The Atlanta Braves made a statement today saying that this was never our decision nor our recommendation for pulling the All-Star Game out of their city. And we are saddened that fans will not be able to see this event in our city. Unfortunately, businesses, employees, and fans in Georgia are the victims of this decision. Even their new Democrat Senator John Ossoff came out against this. Even Stacey Abrams came out against this. So MLB trying to be woke, looking like total fools. Just tonight, Donald Trump released this statement. Baseball is already losing tremendous numbers of fans, and now they leave Atlanta with their All-Star Game because they're afraid of the radical left Democrats who don't want voter ID. He went on to call for a boycott of baseball and all those woke companies interfering with our free and fair elections, writing, "Are you listening? Coke, Delta, and all? Citibank? Anyone else?" All right, well, Biden, of course, is supporting Major League Baseball's move. Today, a reporter asked Jen Psaki if the Biden White House is so adamant about having MLB move its All-Star Game from Georgia because of a voting law, why aren't they boycotting, or why aren't they calling for a boycott of the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing? Take a listen to this.
I'm wondering, when can we expect a final determination from the president about the United States participating in the Beijing Olympics, given that he said the Chinese president doesn't have a democratic bone in his body?
Well, I think the U.S. Olympic Committee would play a big role in
on Major League Baseball here in the United States.
He actually didn't. I think I don't know if you heard the answer that happened a few minutes ago, where we addressed this, and I answered the question. So, and I give a little more context, but maybe you weren't paying attention to that part.
She's really rude. She always is every day. Weak sauce as usual from Jen Psaki. They don't even have elections in China. They throw Muslims in concentration camps, but nobody seems to have a problem with any of that. Ask for an ID in Georgia, like they do in various other states in this country, it's the end of the world. Sadly, we all know the Beijing Olympics will go on, and Americans will be there competing. LeBron will bow to Xi Jinping and kiss his ring. China will make $1 zillion. Meanwhile, thousands of miles to the west, Uyghur Muslims will be getting whipped while making Nike basketball shoes in a sweatshop. And finally, I want to show you this real quick. A new Rasmussen poll, one of the best pollsters out there, especially in the last couple elections, showing Biden with a negative approval rating at 48%. So there you go. We'll see. We'll wait as it plummets further and further. All right, coming up, some perspective on what we saw today outside the Capitol. Stay tuned.